Welcome to the new podcast presented by Crane Racing LLC called the Bench Racing Podcast. It contains me, myself, Derek Crane, the host, my co-host, Brandon Bestis Mensch Horswell, and every week we will have a special guest ranging from Lightning Sprint to Wisconsin Wingless to Street Stock to Bandit to Super Fan to just any kind. If you're into racing, we want to sit here, drink beer, drink soda, and talk racing. If you want to tune in and interact with us, check us out on Crane Racing LLC on Facebook. The show is recorded Mondays at 7 p.m. Central, live on Facebook. Comment, interact with us. You can be a part of the show. We'd love to have you. And thank you so much for tuning in on Spotify. Don't forget to follow Crane Racing on all your social media platforms, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, the TikTok, and also on Spotify for all of your racing content needs. Thank you so much, and we'll see you live. We really hope you enjoyed this episode of the Bench Racing Podcast. Peace out, Girl Scout. We are live with another episode of the Bench Racing Podcast.
Full garage today.
Full field. Someone made it finally. 2 weeks off. Right?
Who's this guy sitting in the middle with the amazing beard? And
yeah, we don't have two special guests. We have one special guest. We've been gone for so long. Jeez. With myself, Derek, the host. Co-host here, Brandon Bestis Mensch, and our special guest, Rod Colburn. Thank you, Rod, for coming out.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Especially a 40-minute drive?
Yeah, it's a 40-minute drive. We loaded up the Heiser Chevrolet pickup truck and brought it on down.
See? Boom. Yeah. That's a perfect segue into our topics, which is really Sponsorship 101. What's up, Joseph? Yes, he made it. And you made comment. It. Yeah, and first comment
of the night.
Boom. I should have like
10 seconds in, right?
Yeah, 10 seconds in. I should have like a prize for that. Oh, man.
You got to make it like just a random episode.
Yes.
Just throw it on that first comment, boom.
Yes, that is good. And I actually remembered something that I wanted to bring up today and I did no research for, so that's going to be fun. Luckily, Nathan emailed me the information, so mid-show I'll have to go through that. But yeah, so today's episode is Sponsorship 101, and really we're just kind of break it down, very basic to help out. So we're going to be answering or helping you find out who your fans are, where your fans are at, what hurts your advertising package, and car shows. Do we need them, yes or no? So we'll go into that and also kind of social media stuff. And again, we're just going to be helping you out. So if you have any additional questions, please feel free to reach out to myself or Rod. We are both Wisconsinites, so we always want to help people.
I mean, we're all Wisconsinites.
We are. Oh, yeah, you are too.
Yeah, born and raised, buddy.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. Yeah, don't you know? I said that. You say that at the stop sign, though, right? For our audio.
Keep her moving.
For our audio listeners, we all did the open and that little pat wave. Yeah. And then we're also going to get into bench racing, where we just kind of open up the conversation. So let's get into the start of the show with who our special guest is, Rod Colburn. So your numbers, you have quite a few different numbers. 1, 99, 96.5, 2.
We had 1 and 8.
1 and 8.
1 and 8. We had 1 HD.
Oh, yeah, the Home Depot car?
Yeah. The Home Depot. It could have been Harley Davidson because it was a 1, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it's Harley Davidson. Any other numbers that you've had or ran?
No, not really. I mean, the 99 was... maybe that the year my dad passed. It was supposed to be number 1, Harley Davidson. Mm-hmm. But every other number, I'll just admit I'm a number slut. I've got paid for every number that's ever been on a car. 96.5 was a radio station. Mm-hmm. And then Harley Davidson, which has been a long-time sponsor. Then wanted to have their numbers on the car. So any car that I ran, I got paid to have number 1 on there. That's why you had 1 N8, 1 HD, number 1. If I'd had a couple more cars, we would have just put more letters behind it.
More letters behind it. Okay, so since you're paid to have numbers, what would be your ideal number if you could pick it?
I've never actually, in all my sports years, I think I've only had the number 20 was the only one ever duplicated. I just had whatever number was on top. That never really mattered to me too much. I know Tommy liked running 2. His first year we had 2 in the car.
Yeah.
And actually, now I think about it, Zach Hansen won a 61
Oh, yeah?
on the car. That was the year before we got paid for them.
Okay.
After that, they all ran number 1.
Nice, yes. And I think one thing that you said that was kind of cool that you connected when you had 3 cars was the tail tanks were all the same color.
That was same color, yeah. all
Yeah,
black.
yes. And different fonts too, which is pretty. That was a
cool
trip.
look. That was a cool look.
Yeah. It was kind of cool watching you from afar. Like, yeah, I don't really want to be in that team because there's a lot going on right now.
3 cars. That was the best worst idea I ever had.
That's the worst idea.
Oh man, I done dropped.
So funny.
You done dropped your phone.
I dropped my phone, not my pen this time. So I always drop my pen. Do you have any nicknames that you're aware of?
I mean, I was always growing up Colby because of Colburn, or Cheese. When I play football overseas, it's called Christmas. The guy across the middle is playing safety. I lit him up and I said, "Merry Christmas, bitch," and then Christmas stuck. That was it. Other than that, no, had a few. I think Bryce calls me like Papa or something like that. Pops.
Pops.
Something like that. So as you get older, you get more Pops ones or
Pop.
I think you guys had a good one for me.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
So a father figure of some sorts. Pops, Daddy, Big Daddy. Yeah. I mean, Dad and I always referred to you as Big Daddy because it was really that 3-car team year was just like, yeah, he made it. He kind of made. He's Big Daddy over there, just car owner. He's at this guy driving this car. This my brother driving this car. Yeah, it was pretty cool. What's up, Sean Sticks and Ryan Zelski? No, I don't know what no means. I do know what it means, but I don't know what you're referring to. Let's just say that. All right, so let's get in to the beginning of the first topic here. In the major topics of Sponsorship 101 is who are your fans? So, Rod, how would you find out who your fans are?
What we deal in, more in contacts and total numbers of people now. But I think you need to realize that your sponsors are kind of at this level are geographical. They're very close to where either you're at or the track is at, and you need to factor in the age and demographics and those type of things. But the biggest thing is your fans are the ones that you can push to your sponsor. How can you get them there? Is it going to car shows, parades, World of Wheels, whatever that is, and then connecting them to your sponsor. When you go to that parade, invite your sponsor to hand things out. You're not really. I mean, if it's a bar, you kind of know that it's usually demographic 21 to 80. Kind of, and skew male sometimes, and depending on the bar. But you really need to have an understanding of who it is that your sponsor needs to come as their next customer. When you're thinking about that, you get in a sponsorship with the track. Those people I don't even add in as part of my sponsorship. They're fans at the track, and that's kind of, I always say that's for free because it's basically the same. At Wilmot might be the same 8,000 to 10,000 people throughout the year filing back and forth, including the pits or whatever. So if they're really just being in contact with how do I get the people there, and really who they are really is less important than you really bending and being flexible enough to get people to them. Having your car at their place is a big thing too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How important is repetition, do you think, with those same 8,000 to 10,000 people? Do you think that helps, or do you think that hurts?
No, and in marketing, as far as you personally marketing, I think it's good, but marketing as a whole is hear my name, see my name multiple times. Coca-Cola never really talks about their product. They just want you to think about them, and think about them, and think about them 10 or 15 times before you go to the store and you're standing in the aisle, because of the commercializing they do in the way that they market. They're just creating a relationship with you. And when you're at the store, they're just trying to finish that relationship. Or when you're out and say it's Bill's Shoes, and you've seen Bill's Shoes commercial 15 times, and someone says, you say, hey, where'd you get your shoes from? You say, Bill's Shoes. Well, that relationship has been bolstered because of the amount of times that you heard Bill's Shoes. It could be to someone in passing, but if you cold call and you say you have Bill's Shoes on, it's going to be the strength of your relationship with it. If it's your father or mother, you might buy Bill's Shoes, right? Well, mother might not be cool, but if it's just, say it was you and I mean, we're friends, but because you have Bill's Shoes on doesn't mean I'm going to do it. But if I heard or saw the name 15 times, I already have a relationship. You just finalize a relationship, there's a pretty good chance I'm going to go buy Bill's Shoes.
Yeah. My take on it is, with Ashley and herself teaching photography, which she's killing right now, I'll hear some stuff with how they market photographers, and I'm like, oh, I could kind of spin that into the racing stuff, right? One thing that I heard was, if you are for everyone, you are for no one.
Yes.
Yeah. And that is kind of goes hand in hand, because like Colburn might be in a different demographic of people at the track than me, than Trinity UTech or Ellie Hensley, or like the really young drivers, right? So I don't think, and I think that's where people get a little worried, like they don't talk because they just don't want to say the wrong thing. But I think if you could just be yourself, you'll hit the ones where you can just be yourself and go forward from there, and it's a perfect fit.
To the point on that, I've had Nathan and Tommy and myself and Zach and Bryce, and Bryce drove for me for a little bit, at a car show or at wherever. And that thing, I just told them, just be personal, just keep talking, just make that relationship for the sponsors behind you. Just make that relationship, whatever it is, just keep talking. You will, someone will like you. Later, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So one of the ways that we do to find out who our fans are is just doing a survey on Facebook. Well, through a third party, and then just kind of posting on Facebook. But then the other thing to do is, if you're really just starting off, you really want to make sure that you create a racing page, because it gives you different metrics than an ordinary personal page. So you can see how much engagement you have, how much of your posts have been reached by certain people, and then also post regularly. There we go. I said it.
There you go.
I have a tough. That word's really tough for me. Post regularly, even through the winter.
Yeah.
I mean, that is kind of hard because, you see, it's easy to do it during the summer because you have all this content coming in from your onboards, photos, and stuff. But then once it gets to the winter, everything kind of slows down a little bit. So just kind of finding different ways.
Right?
Yeah.
You grab some stuff that maybe you didn't use throughout the summer, and you just sprinkle that throughout the winter to keep things rolling.
Yes, and if any of you have been following Behind the Visor, if you actually look, it's almost every other race is what I post, because
Then keep the content rolling.
And during race season, it's like every other week, and then now it's probably going to be like every 3 weeks. But, just stuff like this, or the podcast like this is going to help us stay relevant through the winter. Do you have anything, as an outsider, Brandon, looking in, like, how would, because you're in the corporate, right? You're in the office. Yeah. What would...
I dabble.
You dabble? You dabble? You dabble. I sprechen the corporate language. What would be one thing that you kind of look for as a driver bringing something to you that would stand out on a piece of paper?
I mean, I've done a lot of things in the business world, and I you know, with sponsor stuff, yeah, I mean, you're really looking at a lot of, you want the numbers, right? I mean, at the end of the day, a business has one goal: make profit.
Yeah.
So if you can show them right off the bat, you know, show them the numbers, show them what the real profit they're gonna benefit from. I mean, that's the easiest way to lock down, especially something like a big company, because at the end of the day, I mean, so I worked for Snap-on for like 7 years. So the biggest thing is, you know, 9 times out of 10, if you go to that site, what's it say when you look at sponsorship? We're currently not accepting any sponsorship opportunities at this time because they're full, right? And so if you're going to try and make a play at something like that, you know, you've got to be able to bring them bigger numbers than someone that they might already have on board. Yeah. Whereas, you know, you can have bigger I mean, the driver's perspective, like, you might have better chances with some great local businesses because you're getting their name out there. That helps, and bigger impact for local people. Because, I mean, I would like to think that a lot of people, probably like us, like, we initially want to support a business that's from our local area, right? You know, things are getting a little bit tighter right now, so sometimes it's about saving money, but
I mean,
you know, I would still prefer to spend a little bit more and try and help out some kind of local business, because, you know, those are people in your community supporting your community with whatever they make.
Yeah, and then where your fans are at. So this is kind of going into the second question here, because if the more that you bring the car out, the more footprint you have, right?
It's everything. It's like I have people that say, how do you get that many sponsors? How do you do sponsorship like that? I said, what did you do this last week?
See it. Sorry.
What did you do this last week?
How do you do that? Turn that on.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah, sorry.
That's why I was trying to see it, because it wasn't picking up his voice. So.
Gotcha.
Technical difficulties now fixed.
We're professional.
Yeah, so when people would ask me, like, you know, how do you get somebody sponsored? How do you do it? The first question I ask them is, what did you do this past week? Did you work on a race car? Did you set it up? Did you go to the track? Did you go home and did you wash it? Was that your routine? Well, that was your routine. You did nothing for anyone on your car. Like Tuesday nights, we're at LD's bike night and Harley Davidson events during the week and car shows, and there's 30 days a year that we have the car out. We promise that we'll have it 30 days, non-race days, out talking about them, not focused on racing. We don't even include the racing part of it as part of our sponsorship.
Yeah, every time you talk about it, that's money for them, you know?
Yeah. Also, it helps the track out, too, or wherever location that you're going at. Like,
absolutely.
Where you run in. Oh, actually, this weekend we're going to be up at Beaver Dam or Plymouth or something. You get more new people out there and get them hooked. So the thing with where your fans are is when you can start to see demographically and where they are in relation to the tracks. Also help you know who to go talk to for companies. Yes. Because, I mean, I'm sure you've done it, Rod, before. I mean, I got myself tired asking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of companies and just kind of like sending out the standard template type thing, right? And it's just like, you're lucky even if you get a response back of a no. Then, right? So then it just, you can start to, as you start to build your foundation for your fan base and where people are going to be seeing you, also kind of, and then also finding out who is following you, because we actually just did a rundown on Crane Racing, and our biggest age group kind of surprised me was actually my age group, which is that, 25 to 34, which I thought I always marketed to the older fan base just because of my dad and grandpa and my great uncle Ron, because they're old school racers on top of that too. They're not the kind of show up, drive, like you know them. They're like Zelsky, very opinionated. That's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that, but they are very, very opinionated. Ashley Crane, ghosting sucks.
She's talking about companies that ghost.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes, ghosting suck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. You're on that. Yes. What other way could you identify where your fans are?
I mean, I just have 3 bullet points that I
Yeah.
would suggest. I would say stop asking to be be sponsored. Ask to be a marketing partner. Okay. The second thing is you talk about your where you're going to find the people to support you. Start with your friends. I'm not saying ask your friends for money.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know someone at a company that I could get 5 minutes with? Okay. Do you know somebody?
We've tried that many times.
Yeah. Do you know somebody that I can have a conversation with? I got Heiser has been my longest standing one at Harley Davidson. I just knew people there. I knew somebody. I was able to get in the door and market. I had other ones that Clutch and others that were cold calls, and when you cold call, it's like the email, then I mail it, and then I call, and I keep calling until they tell me to stop calling. I will have at least 10 telephone calls. I will have at least 2 emails, 3 emails, a mailer. Just sooner or later, you get their attention.
Yeah.
And then the last one is when you do get a sponsor, get them out.
Yeah.
Get them out to the parade with you. Get them out to the car show. Have them come see it. Bring them to the track. All those things so they can actually see it, and it'll have impact.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think that's an important. What he said with using the term right, marketing partner, right? Because
Right.
every time you're coming to them, or every time you're bringing up sponsorship to them, that just shows that's just money that they're spending on you. Coming at them and saying, "How can I be your marketing partner?" is how can I make you money?
Yes. Which
So,
is
super important.
a very important 3 letters is ROI, return on investment, which is perfect segue there. Because if you do think about the word sponsorship, you think of a little league team. Oh yeah, we'll buy your jerseys,
right.
or
Yeah.
And what do they expect out of it? Maybe a plaque that they can put on their wall.
Right.
We support whatever, But when you start to go marketing partner, I mean, it's still hard. It's not like you're going to go night and day difference.
It doesn't open the door for you to know.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It changes the way they look at you.
Yeah, you at least get a who's there when you knock at the door, not nothing. So yeah, and then also on social media, just kind of identifying too where your fans are based on platforms. What's your best, what's your worst. Right now, our best is TikTok, and our worst is Instagram. But I've never been really good at Instagram either. I know that we do have a few fans on there that follow us though, that don't have anything else really, so it's just I don't want to get rid of that just because of that. All right, next question here. If you guys have any questions, I forgot to mention that too.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, comment, and we'll see if we can answer them on the spot, depending on how hard they are. The next question is, what hurts your advertising package? Now, the one that comes to me so much to mind is if the money is right. If you actually, if you can get in front of someone to talk to, whatever you want. Obviously, there's going to be a price, but whatever you want this to look like, we can try to do. But then, if you hear if the money's right, it's just well, you don't want to say that to them because then it just looks like you're in it for the money, which if you're in it for the money, you'll know because you won't get any callbacks. But if you have more return on investment mindset on how they can get money from a marketing or advertising opportunity on a race car, will definitely help. What do you think, or what comes to mind, Rod, that will just kill the momentum you got?
I'm sure you've got some good experiences. On that.
I mean the things I found early. Thinking that when the end of your season is over and that's the best time to go market is not true, because at least half of the people you're marketing to, their fiscal year is October.
Yep.
So if you're marketing, if you start marketing to them, they'll always say, "This is the one that kills. This is my marketing budget is set."
Mm-hmm.
That's the death to your. For me, my time starts in April, May. But when the season starts, is
First
when I
quarter's
start.
done.
First quarter's done. I got a good look at where they're at. Well, actually, it'd be their second quarter if it's depending on who it is, and you got halfway through the year. They're just starting to get together what their marketing program looked like last year. Is it working? Is it not? They're having kind of their mid-year. This is for the Octobers.
Mm-hmm.
Like October is Heiser, and Harley Davidson is December. So or January 1st.
Yeah.
So they're two different places, and they can complete at different times. So, but if you come in like right now to someone like Heiser and say, I have this incredible plan, well, that's really nice. It's over. I've already filled it. So the biggest killer was figuring out their schedules, who I'm marketing to. Now, if I try to market to a company that is a Jan 1 and I try to market to them in May, I'm white noise. They don't even pay attention to me. They won't even hear me. So part of what I figure out is, what is their fiscal year? When does their fiscal year start? And there's a few tricks to that. So if you're looking at, and you always want to be start about 5 to 6 months out.
Yeah.
From the time that you want to. First of all, they got to see your program. They got to see where they're at. They got to see what fits into that. Then they usually around August get a loose look at their budget, and then from August to maybe the first or second week of September is when they set their schedule of who they're going to try to fit into their marketing program.
Nice. Okay. I've never even thought of that.
Yeah.
Learn something new every day, right?
It's huge. Yeah.
Brandon, what is as a company side, what would be one of those that would just kill that package in a heartbeat, where it's just like, no.
I mean, there's kind of a lot of little things that can do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say one that is kind of both sides of the coin is just like speaking the same language, right? So like just remembering that like the people, especially if you're talking to people in the marketing department or someone above them or providing them information, it's going to be important to just remember like these are business guys. They do speak a very specific language, and like being in the corporate world, like you learn it fairly quickly, but like it kind of goes back to like time is money. So if you're focused on providing them information that's going to show them what time can equal to money, and I mean there are also, you're going to have those few people in those meetings as well that like like I'm trying to think of the way that I can put it, but what you provide, I just had it and I lost it. Essentially, not only like what are you going to provide for them, but also showing like your community impact is going to be good for some of the smaller companies. But again, if you're speaking the same language as them, just remember like dollars and cents, right? Mm-hmm. Track everything back to like how this can benefit their company, right? And also and also bringing like brand recognition, right? Like that's also show them the people, how many people they're going to be seeing their brand recognition. Yeah.
And I've found more success when I get to the decision maker. If you're at somebody in marketing, let's say it's just someone who works in marketing, not the manager or the director of marketing, your package will be seen as strong as the person who presents it. I would rather I present it to the decision maker, even if it's on a limited scale, just through an email or a telephone call.
Or 5 minutes or something. Just,
whatever it is, it's better than having someone who's at a lower level. You got to get the decision maker, and that's the person. Because even if you think about even going to your local bar, the bartender is not the one who's going to pitch this to the owner. Yeah. And is it going to be successful? But no, probably not.
Are they going to be enthusiastic about it? Probably not. Are they going to be passionate about it?
No.
Yeah, I mean, that's very true, too. That's even with Maddie. She's just like, oh, how about Pullman, which we are proudly partnered with Pullman for next year, which I'm so excited about. She was just like, yeah, so I mentioned it. What do I need to do? And I'm like, just get me in front of them. That's all. Just get me in front of them. And she actually sold it to
Wow,
him, so
really?
that was awesome.
There you go.
Yeah.
One other thing, watch for companies who are doing really cool marketing things, that like kind of brash marketing things.
Like Red Bull almost.
Kind of, yeah, in a way. That they're being really brash with their signs or whatever, because they may pick up and you can market that this is something really cool.
Mm-hmm.
People are going to look at this because it's really cool. If they're into that type of marketing, they seem like
Strategy.
they are.
Yeah.
I just saw one a national at Buck energy drink or something. Or
Oh yeah, Bucked Up.
Bucked
just
up,
saw
bucked
that.
up,
I just-
right?
I just saw
I
the
mean, their
first time.
marketing is so cool. I thought I'm gonna take a shot at it. It's a 1 in 1,000, but it's a 0 in 1,000 if I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You increase your chances by 50% by just asking, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you
that's
don't
it.
Yeah.
don't make any shots you don't take, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh man.
I actually just saw their can for the first time last night.
Yeah.
Someone
Oh.
brought one to the group I was at.
And their marketing is really pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's just kind of cutting edge stuff. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what, they might like to put that on a,
On a race car.
I don't know.
Well, you let me know
Sideways.
because like last year I talked to him and like got nothing.
Yeah.
So if
We'll
you
see.
get good luck, like that'd be
We'll see.
awesome. That'd be awesome. Right when I mentioned Maddie, she comments, "Hello."
She comments.
Yeah.
Hi,
Colin,
Maddie.
what's up, Colin? Matthew, Lexi, Dave. Oh man, we got a lot of people.
Everybody coming
yeah,
in.
Everybody knows where it's at. I think
Got all
another
the
thing.
Shitsons in the house, man.
Yeah. On different accounts. Thank you. I think another thing that could potentially hurt is if your number is too low or too high. Because like if I were to say you can buy one of those brand new
I've worked my way through that. I give spots on the car
yes
and levels of advertising.
yes
Then I ask them, how high do you want to
go
okay, if you're on this part of the car, it's a range of this to that. Now when we're at an event like when we had Clutch, they want us to do tastings. Oh, guess what? I gotta have people there. I gotta,
yeah
I'm doing. It's gonna cost you more. What level do you want to be at? And usually they kind of find their own home.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's another thing too. Like if you only have like, oh yeah, for the side of the car, you're looking at I don't know, $8,000. Okay, well, what comes with that? Because if it's $8,000 and that's all you're getting is a sticker, that's way too high. But then again, if you're running around like a headless chicken doing 50, 60 events outside of racing, that's way too low.
Right.
And then also, if it's too low, I think that they might not take you as seriously either, especially if they have some sort of history partnering with their team previously, and it's like, well, I know how much it costs to run a team, and you want us to be the title, but that's so if you crash one time, you don't even have enough money to put the car together.
Yeah.
So again, just knowing who you're talking to as well. If you have problems with public speaking, you should really be in person with those decision makers, because you're trying to read the room as you're going, and it gets terrifying. But you got to do it. Just like you're not going to go out there and win your first feature ever, right? You're going to go out there, probably make a bunch of mistakes and learn from it.
Hit a wall and
hit a wall and flip. Anything else that you can kind of think of?
Just if you think you sent out too many, send out 100 more.
There you go.
It's a numbers game, and just getting to that point, and I spend in April and May and June, I spend as much time on the phone or doing this as I do working on the car.
Yeah.
My busiest 2 months is April and May, big time. Just getting to those October ones,
Yeah.
Then come around September and August, I start doing the January fiscals, and it seems like that's not as many for some reason, and it's not as crazy. I think the summer slows down a little bit.
I think it's important to remember, like, you got to work for the sponsorships, right?
It's
You got to put the
constant.
work in.
It's harder than working on a race car.
Yeah, I know it is.
It is. It's more time.
Yeah.
It's more time to do it right.
Yeah, more time to do
Probably
it
easier
right.
to race the car.
You know.
than it
I mean,
is
I told you guys earlier.
Fight for a sponsorship.
I mean, it can be done, and for the show I added up. It's like $6,870-ish in 8 years. This will be my 8th year that I've spent out of my own pocket in 8 years of racing.
you got to work hard to get it, right? right?
Because but that Tuesday I'm at LD's.
Yeah.
I'm at LD's. I have the car out there. You know,
Yeah.
we were at the state fair during the week, a few days this year, and the Waukesha Fair. I mean, I can tell you, Tommy likes driving the car. He hates loading it up on a Tuesday to be at the Waukesha Fair until Saturday morning we race. He doesn't like it. It's hard. It's not easy, but we get to do what we do. And I know everyone thinks that I'm rich. I'm really not. I did it all through marketing and just hard work.
Yeah. You brought up a good point as well as about with Brandon about kind of just working on the race car versus what's easier. Like a lot of people think about, okay, to have a successful race team, you need a car that's like the best equipment or very good equipment. You also need the pit crew, the best of the best there. Yeah. You need not necessarily the best hauler, but you need to use your hauler to the best that it can hold. You need the best maintenance program, but the one thing spare parts. But the one thing that always gets missed is talking to companies and working on your proposal. Yeah. Yes.
If you notice the big drivers now, they all have a sponsor.
Yeah.
All these guys going from the big ride to big ride. There's very few of these guys that just walk into a ride and be like, "Hey, I'm really talented." Well, guess what? There's 50 guys really talented, and 20 of those guys are going to bring money with them. Mm-hmm. Guess who's getting a ride?
Yeah. Yep. And at that point, it might be just like, then the driver is also pitching to car owners like it's a sponsor. Like, well, this is my fan base. Like, right, how is this going to work with you? And you might be. There's
my following. Yeah. There's my T-Mez is he's a genius.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got such a following. He doesn't have to have a sponsor. Sponsors want to be at the place he's going to land.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Hey, he's a character in life. Yeah. He's nailed it. He's nailed it.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of skipped over this, so I'd like to. This is a good way to circle back, though. Is your racing history? Because I'm sure you came from the same. Yeah, our families raced back in the day, right?
Yeah.
We came back to where like it was almost weird if you had a sponsor on the car because then that means you didn't have the money to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, my uncle is my dad drove modifieds in the 60s, early 70s, and so did my uncle. And my uncle went with IRA and was a 3-time IRA champion, and got to learn from Don Kalinsky, who's crew chief. He talked about you got to have that guy. He's he has as many IRA championships, I think, is not his Baylog, but pretty close. He's got 5 or 6 as a crew chief. So he's a very talented guy. My uncle used to have like Muskego Animal Hospital because that was his buddy Lee. I mean, he had Cudahy Automotive because some guy came to the track and liked him, watched him, and wanted to give him a couple of bucks. Right? Yeah. So, I mean, that's how it was then. But then my uncle ran into very competitive 70s and 80s, got to the late 80s and early 90s, and mostly in the early 90s, and didn't have the dollars to keep up, and the sport started going.
Yeah.
Aluminum block motors and Gerties and everything else.
Carbon fiber, titanium.
And then he struggled.
Big money.
He struggled. He went like 5 years and won one feature. It wasn't because he wasn't talented enough. It was because he was out there with a steel block motor against aluminum motors and run tires for 4 nights instead of like Daryl and Roe and some of those guys had brand new stuff every night.
Yeah.
So and then. As far as me, I drove go-karts when I was young. Then when I got older, I drove them for a while. Then I decided to go. I was 50, sitting in the stands at Wilmot saying, I'm going to do this. And then my wife let me know I could do that, but we weren't going to spend any of our own money. So that first year I spent $4,000. That was probably the biggest amount that year. And then I got Heiser's as a sponsor and a few others. I kind of figured out how to market it a little bit, and I knew that it wasn't about the racetrack. Like I say, I throw the racetrack in for free when I talk to sponsors. And I raced for 3 years. Had probably more memorable for a couple of my wrecks than I am for my finishes. Had some spectacular wrecks.
Man, the one that comes up, there's 2 that come to mind right away. Was Eden Sean Swim's right rear over there, where you were higher than the scoreboard. And then the back chute one where I think it was in qualifying, and an arm stripped or broke or something.
The right arm broke.
Yeah, and it just turned your hard
immediate right.
Yeah, like right. He hit the wall right where you normally pitch the car. Yeah. So that is like top speed.
Yeah.
Oh, man, yeah, it was fast. It was oh shit, and then wake up in the ambulance.
Yeah.
That was the extent of my.
So you don't remember any of that? Yeah, my dad was just like, well, why didn't he? I'm like, when you're coming off the corner, the cars typically just kind of walk up the track a little bit. So like, you don't really know until it's too late. Anyways.
It's over.
Yeah. Real quickly, hi Hannah Waymeyer.
Hey, Anna.
We're friends. Woohoo!
Now, speaking of marketing and pulling
Yeah.
the whole program together and your sponsors and stuff, Hannah is the biggest reason that I hold on to sponsors. She does an incredible job. If you could talk her into doing it for you, I'm not sure you could, but I don't know if Hannah's for hire. She can put it on if she is, but she does such a great job of first keeping all our fans up to date, right? Potential customers for your sponsors, keeping our sponsors up to date, and then just overall cool new looks and new pictures and just a different look all the time. And it's mostly on Facebook, some Twitter stuff, and some other stuff she does that I don't know, but she does an incredible job.
Yeah, and you just brought up another excellent point. Getting partners and keeping partners. Two different stories. Because just like, not saying that every team is this way, but just like when you buy a new car, you're excited but once that new car smell wears off, they might not necessarily be looking to jump, but it's just kind of like, yeah, okay.
I have a schedule every month. Each sponsor gets a handwritten update on the season, how we're doing from me. And the only way I remember is I put it on my calendar, and it goes bzz, bzz, and I do it.
And all day you're sitting there writing.
No, I've gotten pretty good at them over 7 years, but you have to keep them. Hey, here's a picture of us. Here we are. Here's us. Here's us at this show. Here's us here. Here's us there.
Keep them
here's
involved.
us. Right.
Yeah. It's almost like you're trying to get a bigger ride. If you don't have the money or anything, and you're just trying to get the talent to get noticed, like how would you do it? I don't know. Just keep on being in Team S's video, sliding him or something.
Yeah.
You know, like you just.
I think Hannah responded there.
Oh yeah, I'm always available for design and photography hire. Boom. Yes.
Yes. If you have the ability to do that, it's a great place to start to get sponsors, because then you can have a package. When I send something out to sponsors, within that first 3 emails that I do, I usually include over 20 pictures of us at various events, and I would probably say out of the 23 of them are sideways at turn 4 at Beaver Dam. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's all events. It's all people sitting in their car with their with the sponsor name right next to them, and shaking hands and kissing babies and all that.
Oh
stuff.
yeah. Real quickly, Ryan Zelski here. When he hit the temp lights in the infield on Outlaw Night.
Yeah, that was another good one. And the best part about that was I was bitching all the way into it, because I'm going on the backstretch. The spot opened up because everyone got out of Nathan's way who was driving my other car, because the motor blew up. And I got behind him, I couldn't see, so I slammed on the brakes, and I'm free sliding, bitching about Nathan that we just blew a motor, and then I run right into the
temp light.
They were mad at me. I took the battery out.
Oh,
yes.
gosh.
All right, Eric Wilkie. I remember at Unity, someone flipped, and a part hit Rod.
Right in the chest.
Did you ever find out what hit you?
Yep. No, it never was in the car, but it was. It looked like the bolt in a Heim broke off or something.
Oh.
It was about that big, and when I came out of the turn, 2 cars got together and they started bouncing. He started bouncing on the backstretch there right in front of me, and when he flipped, kind of to my side a little bit.
Okay.
But I was kind of underneath him, and I saw this piece. I just went like that. It hit me so hard, it knocked the wind out of me. I had a big cut, bleeding all the way down my stomach. Yeah.
Man, yeah. Put some dirt
And
in that.
then they wanted to put me in the back, and I got out of the car because I couldn't breathe, right?
Yeah.
And they wanted to put me in the back of the field.
It's a safety issue. Am I bleeding too much?
Well, they're arguing with me, and I can't say anything. I had the helmet on, so.
Oh man, I did. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
never
hurt.
went up
That
to
hurt a lot.
Unity. Yeah, getting hit with things in the race car, and that's another reason why you should have a rock screen, because you still have rock screen.
I did, but it came over the top.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So rock screens are really great. We should never have top cage rock screens, because then we won't be able to get out.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, so those are the real quick question, Rod. What would you say to a new person just starting out here, building their proposal, what are like 3 do's and 3 don'ts?
Don't talk about price in the first letter. Talk about things that you think you can do for them to help them create sales. Try to get as much information as you can. The sports show has 132,000 people visit it. The Kenosha County Fair, which everyone has their car at and away, has 101,000 people. So all of a sudden now I'm putting you in front of 250,000 people to sell or represent you to get them to go to your location. Put those numbers together. You're on flow, okay? And then you also have
real quickly,
YouTube hips.
Flow. If we race the Wisconsin Wingless, when we race with the IRA, that's 18,000 people that tune in for that.
Just so you know, the Chili Bowl is 257,000 a night.
Yeah.
Average.
Yeah.
So then the last night is more, and I think it's probably like 180 for during the week.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. So and actually, flow.
And then count as hits YouTube things that Wisconsin Wingless was in. You can count all of those, and when you start to have this avalanche of numbers, where I'll say I'll get you in front of over 1 million people in person, and through other media outlets, I'll get you in front of 4 million people. It has impact.
Yeah,
they read the line after that. I believe you me.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm starting to get into where I can pay myself to billboards and your cost per viewer, and but that's getting deeper. But initially, just count those things and put that down on paper and say I can get you in front of these people. I can help them make them your next customer.
Yeah.
Now let's sit down and talk and see what level you want to be at.
Yeah, and other unique strategies that they might be like, hey,
I've got just as many from them as I brought to them.
Yeah, exactly. And that's ROI. And that's exactly what they're looking for. Those were very good. Yeah, because the first thing that you want to talk about is the price, because you can feel them out, right? But you cannot,
because you haven't spent already.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Because if I get $4,000 out of this guy, I'm set for tires.
That'd be great. Have new rubber every night. Let me just go over the last few.
That could be taken wrong.
Fresh rubber.
Fresh. Yeah.
He said some new rubber every night.
Yeah. Trust me. I did a TikTok about burning tires and the hashtags, and I was just like, whoa, that one could be taken sexual. Let me take that one off real quick.
Probably got more hits if you left it, but
probably. Last topic here, which is everybody's favorite topic when we talk about sponsorship stuff.
Ooh.
Car shows and marketing events. I think every single question that I asked, Rod has brought up car show or marketing event.
I was just kidding, actually. Yeah. You guys don't go to any of them. I wanted to go all by myself.
Yeah, please don't.
That would be nice. Don't go to any of them.
Yeah, because when you have 10 of them show up, they're not as cool as just that one.
Yeah. That's why, Waukesha Fair, or if you're in Washington County or Kenosha County, I know that Clemco's usually have their car at the Kenosha County one. When you can be by yourself at an event like that, okay, World of Wheels is nice, but you're another car.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, if you can get to you think of events like bike nights, like at Harley Davidson I go to. I mean, I don't want to mention that one because I'm the only one who can get into it.
Yeah.
But just having those, my other sponsors get that advantage, you know, and they get that part of my marketing program, and every event you can think of. Parades. Don't go to a parade by yourself. Bring your sponsors. Have them hand out stuff. Get them involved with you, side by side, walking down the street. First, you build a better relationship with them, and they're actually going to see how tangible it is. They're actually handing a coupon or something to a potential customer, and it does get a lot of traction.
With that kind of stuff, well, all of this stuff, you are really the foot in the door for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because how many times would you skip a YouTube advertisement? to get to your video?
All the time.
Every time. Oh,
Every single
I
time.
look. Is this one you can skip? Oh,
Yeah.
dang it. Well, I'm
I
gonna
like
go
a 5
faster.
seconds.
yeah.
5 seconds. I can live
okay,
it.
click.
Yeah, right. But how many times do people go running to race cars? Right,
Yeah.
and if their logos and
Especially if they
brand
got
and-
kids.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
yes. That's always fun too to see the moms, especially with young sons,
Yeah.
and they come flying up. And you know you don't want to do this. It's like, no, you want to do this. You want to do this. Yeah. So car shows are a must. And you know sometimes I hear like, well, the money's gotta be better. Don't say that. Just put that into your proposal, or be ready for like, okay, well, we want, you know, because like in our proposal, whatever package you have, you may only get us one time at your whatever date you want us there, or if you're the title, whenever you want us there.
I don't know if I've had one too small. Usually, they go to a smaller spot on the car,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then their marketing impact at events is less.
Yeah.
So I've had like, I have one on my car that's $900.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the smallest. It's like it's on the wing car. It's on the hood, so it's right there, and it has absolutely no marketing impact. I've never handed out a flyer.
Yeah.
$900. That's what he wanted to pay, and I found a spot for him.
Yeah.
Someone wants to give you $250. Put it on the side of your driver's helmet.
Yeah.
Find a spot.
Yeah.
Find
I
a
mean,
spot.
engine bay panels, those are
What?
really good.
Yeah.
Don't turn down
Yeah.
money, right?
Yeah.
No, not because the thing is, you can. I've had ones that were less. LD's Barbecue started out like $1,000, I think, and now they're one of my top sponsors because they actually saw the impact, and they got people coming in and, hey, we saw your car, and also it's their car, saw your car at Waukesha Fair,
Yeah.
and they talked about how you were the best place there is in the state, and so we went there and ate. By the way, they are the best in the state.
Oh yeah.
Easily.
Jimmy IE, good evening, gents. What's up,
Jimmy.
What's up, Jimmy?
IE Turbo.
Turbo.
Mike Hansen, no sponsors too small. Never know what it could turn into. Exactly.
Absolutely right, Mike.
We were at the Racing Roundup show, and I think the guest right before me talked about how he went to what is now his like title asphalt late model up at Slinger Partner, and it started off with 2 packs of soda, a 30 pack of beer, and 2 bags of ice.
There you go.
Right, and so just because they don't go, and I call that feelers too. Like they might just be like, we want to do more, but let's just
Let's see
feel
what it
this
is.
out. Yeah, let's just feel this out. So, yeah. All right. So that's gonna wrap up the sponsor as well.
Is that a long one? Is that long?
For this topic, for one topic, yeah, you're normally about 20 minutes a topic, 25 minutes a
Oh,
topic,
It depends
but
on, it depends on the topic.
yeah,
I mean, yeah.
and we got talk. We're talkative today too, so sometimes someone that doesn't want to talk, it's like, oh, okay.
I think one thing that we
And not a problem with me. Though.
Yeah.
one thing that we
No.
kind of didn't. I mean, maybe in a roundabout way we kind of did, but like
Yeah.
also remembering when you're coming to someone for sponsorships, remember you're not the only one.
Oh, there's a billion.
Not only just maybe racers, but like, I mean, almost every industry,
Yeah,
people are looking for sponsorships, right? Like
Yeah.
people who are doing YouTube channels or, you know, something in the flip side of things. Like they're not trying to stick with people that might be in the same industry, right? Like, sure, like you could stretch like racing and Harley Davidson's, both motors, both
Right.
you know, automotive stuff, but like. I mean, you could go to someone like a restaurant. What does it have to do with racing, right? People got to eat. You just got to tie that. You just got to tie that in.
Yeah.
How can you connect the customers to them? How does it work?
And then when you're asking for a sponsorship, a lot of times it'll give you to the portion that has to deal with philanthropy, like where you know they think that you're a charity because you're looking for a sponsor.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Are you a 501-3
Right,
or
right,
whatever?
yeah,
It's like,
right.
no.
I had a bank not that long ago, even though I don't say that anymore. I'm anyway marketing.
Yeah.
Next time talking to this, and she goes, "Well, what event will you be at?" So I'm explaining. She goes, "Well, that's a lot for a charity." I'm like, "Well, not a charity."
Not a charity, yeah.
But, so I'm here.
Marketing.
You can't kick me out.
So she sent me back to the original person who spoke.
Oh man. Oh, that sucks too when you when you
You're being
think you're
bounced
talking to the
around,
right
yeah,
one
yeah.
and you start getting bounced around. But make them say no.
Yeah.
Make them say no. We're not interested. Jimmy, I hear. Sorry, I couldn't join in with you. All had to do with the honey. Why is it always Monday
The
nights?
honeydew list.
Always Monday nights.
You got to get more done on a Sunday, Jimmy.
Yeah, we're not racing anymore on Saturday, so get with it. Rod looks so serious. Well, this is serious. Jimmy, yeah. This is serious business.
This is serious. This is everything.
Yeah.
Hey, this is his opportunity to market for his sponsors.
Exactly.
He's gotta take it serious.
Oh yeah. All right. So we, as in Wisconsin, have been off racing for 2 weeks now. 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
It's been too long already. I'm ready for race
3
season.
weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 weeks, yeah. And I'm ready for race season to come back in Wisconsin. However, we had 4 Wisconsin wingless drivers take the trip down to Gas City. 3 ran in the Stronger Than Steel series, and our own Clayton Rossman, champion, 1.5 champion, ran the 410. So, Brandon, would you like to tell us?
Oh, don't go there.
Yeah, throwing stuff.
Professional here.
I know I gave you like right before we went live to do it, but you don't have to throw things.
Just so angry.
Yeah.
Pound on the table, even though we're not supposed to.
We're not supposed to do that.
We're not supposed to do that. Okay, so Gas City, we had Stronger Than Steel class with 20 people who came for that class. Fast time went to Tyler Cox's house.
Tyrod, let's go.
Wearing the Tyrod shirt. Heat 1, Trey Meller.
Yep.
And Heat 2, Brian Shorter.
So I messed up. I thought it was Brian, but it's
Breyer.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Heat 3 went to Tyler Miller. The A main, Tyler Cox's house. Up 3.
The
Nice.
carpet strikes.
Very nice. And second place followed by Trey again. And third place to Tyler Miller. Fourth place, Aiden Salisbury, up 4.
Up 4.
Wow.
Yep.
Brian.
Yeah, just Breyer.
Yep. Shorter, down 3. So not too bad actually.
Yeah, out of the 20.
Pretty good movement.
Yep. Out of the 3 Wisconsin wingless drivers.
Yeah, out of our 3 Wisconsin wingless drivers, Tyler Coxhouse took first place, Tim Cox took 6th, and Bryce Andrews in 8th.
Sticking it to him.
Still kicking myself I missed last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, car issues. They don't. He heard. Is this a story?
Yeah, it's a story.
Well,
It's a story.
Yeah, it's fun, but not fun. Our comer and goer of the night, Michael Clark, up 8.
Wow. He's the fast guy in the series.
Wow.
I saw he had a DNF in his heat race, so he had to start in the back.
Yeah, no wonder he moved. Gosh. Our goer of the night, Patrick Stewart, down 4. Then we had our 410 non-wingless at 21. So pretty similar showing up for both classes.
Yep.
Fast time to Robert
Ballou.
Robert Ballou. Our Heat 1 went to Rylan Gray. Man, these names, man, I'll tell you what.
Should we tell Indiana, like, it's okay to do Brian?
It's okay to have a regular name.
Yeah.
What happened to Davey Ray, right?
Yeah.
That's not easy. It's been like a last name.
Oh, just wait till we get to this next one.
Yeah, I know. So let's put it this way. These next 2 names, he had to phonetically write out how to say them for me. Okay, so we had Ty.
Yep.
Okay, I got the first name right.
Yep.
Mahako. Okay.
Heat 2 winner.
Heat 2 winner. And our Heat 3, Zach Pretorius.
Yep.
I would have gotten that one actually without. That one's pretty self-explanatory, I feel like.
Right.
Our A main went to Robert Ballou.
Big shock.
Up 3. Second place to Ty Mahako. Actually started and finished that second. It's cool. Third place, Jaden Rogers, up 6. Wow.
Yep.
Fourth place, Shane Cottle. Up 1. And fifth place, Clayton Rossman. Up 1.
Top 5.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. Our comer of the night, 2. Twins. Twinning.
Twins, Basil. Twins.
Jaden Rogers and Harley Burns, up
Burns.
6. And our goer of the night, Zach Pretorius, down 9.
Down 9.
Woof.
Yep. That was pretty crazy. Congrats to Clayton there.
I'm down with this short. 2 classes. Don't have to go through 4. It's
I mean, yeah. I mean, you know, I heard some rumors. I don't want to say anything yet, but next year it's going to be a little bit easier on you too.
Okay.
with classes at Wilmot, so
Oh,
I'm not
ooh.
going to drop my pen. So I'm not going to say anything yet. Yeah, so awesome. Well, thank you, Brandon, for taking care of that. And now we're going to get into the bench racing portion, guys. So we're just going to kind of open up. Maybe we should call this segment Wide Open. Just wide open conversation.
All throttle, no
Or
brake.
the bench.
Off throttle, no brake. I like that. Like the one car that one time.
Yes. And then a lot of bouncing.
A lot of bouncing, but hey, bouncing's better than spinning out.
Yeah.
All right, so I got a topic here, guys, just to kind of push us into this topic. So please feel free to comment on any questions or anything you'd like to chime in on. So this more or less goes to not just the IRA 410, but this also goes to any division that has dashes. Do we need dashes, or is it a waste of time? I say it's a waste of time, especially if there's a track that's kind of running a little behind schedule, or is hard to keep on schedule when they have to run dashes, and it's 4 laps of 5 cars or whatever. I mean, those cars are expensive, so I don't think anyone's going to go from fifth to first
it's not gonna really,
with risking it.
Well, they're not in the main race yet, so it's like, do you really want to push it on the chance that you can move up? What?
It's a row. So wherever you finish in your dash,
So
it's a whole row.
It's just a row. Yeah. I say throw that in the
Seems
heat
like
race.
Yeah.
I know we're going back to last week's topic about formats, but yeah, just run the heat races like that. Wherever you finish in your heat, that's where you're going to start. So if you're heat race 1 winner, you start on the pole. Heat race 2, start second.
I mean, I've seen quite a few in many years, I guess. I always wondered why we didn't qualify, and then the heat race was passing points. And then by passing points is how you lined up in the feature. It never made sense to me why we had to go through, we invert 6, or we do this, or, so start, say, fast time is 6th, and 6th fastest in that heat is on the pole, and then your heat race is just passing points.
Yeah. I mean,
it kind. And if you go from 6th to 1st, you're the fast qualifier. You're gonna go from 6th to 1st because you want to get the passing points. Dude, you deserve to be on the pole.
yeah.
I mean, I get that they invert because they want it to be special for the crowd, but I can tell you this: nothing special for the crowd when Bill Balog starts on pole.
Or when
When he goes through a dash,
yeah.
when he goes through a heat race, and he goes through a dash, are you really beating that guy twice?
Yeah. Yeah, you're giving him more opportunities to.
He's going to start on the pole either way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I always thought passing points, it gives you a chance if you're the fastest car and you pass 6 cars and you finish second in your heat, you're probably starting in the first 3 or 4 in a feature
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
And if you start on the pole of the heat and you win it, you only get 100. You're not getting this auto like the wingless does. All of a sudden, because you won the heat race, you can start up with the guys who qualified in the top 7, right, or
Yeah.
6. However it works out.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you're the same as them and you get in the invert. Why is that?
And the
Because you were 12th or 16th fastest in qualifying and got to start on the pole and we're on a lockdown track and no one could pass you. All of a sudden you're the same as I got qualified. I don't think that's fair.
Yeah, and the guy that probably qualified 4th more like 4th or 5th. Yeah, it would be 4th or 5th because
He's in a B.
or he gets knocked back to the behind the invert.
Right. Or even worse, it's in a B.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it wouldn't be that hard if you started 4th and they're taking 4.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I do.
To be end of 5th.
I do think that it does need to change a little bit. Yeah.
Well, if you want messed up, Edger Midgets, the fastest qualifier starts 8th or 10th.
In the main.
No, in the heat race.
Oh.
Then they take 5.
So why would I try to qualify again?
Well, because then it inverts and it goes back to your qualifying spot in the feature.
Oh, and then laying me straight up.
Then you get your spot and then they pick an invert. Yeah, I know. Well, so if you qualified 10th and everybody made it and they picked an invert 10, you start on the pole. But they want to try to make racing in the heat races when you got this guy who qualified 20 whatever.
Starting on the pole.
And
the cushion's maybe a car without from the bottom.
I mean, I know Zelski's on her. He did it. Watching those guys do that, it's not exciting. It's scary because
Yeah.
they're missing these guys who the first two guys are falling backwards as fast as the guys in the back are going forwards, and they all kind of collect around third or fourth place, and it gets ugly.
If you guys are confused about what Rod's talking about with their format, I suggest after the show going to YouTube and looking up Timez TV. I think the title of the video is Pro versus Joe's. It is hilarious.
It is good.
Because the format's
covers
so
it.
it's so
He's like, where do I
jacked up.
start?
Yeah, he's like, oh well, yeah, I think we got our spot back for the main, and the guy's like, no, this
No,
was the
'cause he-
non-qualifier.
Yeah,
He's like, wait,
non-qualifier.
what?
Yeah.
Wait, so
You have one heat that automatically goes to the B. It's like a C, if you will. It's a C
Yeah.
without a heat. Yeah.
Yeah. Right, and it's just great. I mean, I felt bad for the kid that was interviewing him because he's probably like, I get to interview T-Max, and then there's this big confusion. It's and I mean, again, people tune in or watch racing or any sport is because they can understand it. Like, it would basically be like if the NFL, the best team went against the worst team, and they're like, well, because it's the best team, you only get 2 downs to convert, not 4, and we're going to give the team...
And you got to start on the 8-yard line every time.
Yeah, and the team that sucks, we're actually going to give them 8 downs, and they get an extra 5 yards every time they're down. Right? It's just like, it's just too much variable. And again, like when we qualify, I hate when we go fast time. I mean, it's cool, but then it's like, great, I'm probably going to start 6, 8, 10. Makes the heat race a little bit easier because then all I'm focusing on is just trying to transfer. I could go second, or, well, that would be fourth. I could go 4th to 5th or 4th to 6th if they're transferring 6, and I still start in the same spot. The dude comes from the back of the heat race, finishes 7th. Well, he didn't transfer, so now he's got to do it all over again and go back to, because the qualifying time's back. It's messed up. Well, Facebook, what do you think about the dashes and just formats in general, since we kind of went over the format? Brandon, how's your car doing?
Well, I'm driving it now.
That's good.
Yeah, I had some.
This is the reason why he hasn't been here in like a month, it feels like.
If you're looking for a new car, Heiser has great prices.
I am. Well, with car prices right now and interest rates, is not really trying to buy. So we ended up getting my wife's grandma's Jeep Patriot, which is kind of a piece of junk. But hey,
That's interesting. Where are you trying to get your payment at?
But yeah, so essentially, tried to get new tires on it because the ones that were on are dry rotted, and got the new tires. Took it in, was guaranteed by the place that they'd be able to do take off 2 of the nuts that I knew had problems. And then they called me like 30 minutes into it and were like, "Yeah, no, we can't do this. You got to take it somewhere, get it fixed." And so had a family friend look at it, and he goes, "Yeah, just go buy a rim and 2 studs, and we'll see what I can do to get it off." And sure enough, he got it off. He had to light them up like cherries, but that's what happens when you don't consistently rotate your tires. Those lug nuts swell up, and good luck getting them off.
Hopefully they put anti-seize on it too. That'd be great.
Yeah, so I'm going to be getting the new tires on this weekend. So
Okay.
then I'll actually be able to drive at speeds higher than probably like 55.
With no waddle.
No, because so when they drive on it, if they start to expand or move at top speeds, they'll just explode.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want that.
We've had that on the trailer before. They're fun. That's fun.
Yeah.
It's never going to, which is great. Never going to. It's always coming back at 2 a.m. What's up, Ryan Williams?
Ryan Williams.
Yes. Jimmy IE. Waste of time, in my opinion, and also puts driver cars at risk to not be able to finish the night. That's true, too. You get me out there, I'm all over the place. You never know where I'll be. Joseph, way back in the day, EWSC did
Eastern Wisconsin, yeah.
Eastern Wisconsin, okay. Did a full Field invert. Ooh, the fastest qualifier started last in the A-main. I feel like that's like a lot. That's the old days too.
But it was 45 points to win the feature. The fast time was 25 points.
Yeah.
So you could get fast time, let's say, and if you finished 8th in the feature, which you could do, you would get more points than a guy who didn't get any points to qualify and won it. So guys who won the championship were the guys in back that time frame. Miles Melius, Aaron Salzrud, Fuzzy Fosbender. I mean, Billy Johnson, all those names you heard. Yeah, that was the format. IRA had that format until maybe the early '80s, I think.
Okay.
My uncle won his championships. I think it was full field inverts.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
and the B was the last. Whoever for second to B were the last cars in the feature.
Yeah. So if you didn't get to go
21st and 22nd.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like that. Sounds more like I would say that would, if I saw that format, I'd be like, that has to be a modified.
The cars
format.
are too good nowadays.
Yeah.
Would it be interesting? Sure, it would be fun to watch like Tim Cox or someone come to the field, but the cars are too good.
Yeah.
They used to call it, stroking or sandbagging.
Yeah.
To get up front. The only guy, I mean, there were guys who used to qualify with 2 tires on that looked like 2 left rears. So they get out there, and they were pretty good cars, and they qualify around 14th, 16th. They started front half, and they won a feature.
Yeah.
If they with no yellows. But the other thing was the difference in the cars back then was greater.
Yeah.
The equipment is very close. Like Wisconsin Winglets is basically IROC. I mean, similarly prepared equipment on the same track. I mean, your motors are now that they got a few more rules,
Yeah.
and it's proven that guys aren't really doing too much to them. They're actually just really fast, and But starting up front, I mean, when's the last guy in a Wisconsin wingless that went from the back to the front?
What would you consider front? Top what?
5.
Top 5. Zelsky at Sycamore.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
About
you
it.
got close one night. Did you make it up to like 6?
6 or 8th or something. Yeah.
Well, I know the one night you made it back to 8th. Thursday night I thought you made it to like 6th. You were close.
But I mean,
Yeah.
that,
But
I
that's
mean,
what I'm saying,
that's super memorable. And the cars they're passing in between there are all cars that they started in front could do well too.
Yeah, Zelsky actually asked me. He's like, "Hey, that'd be a good topic or question just to have as just fun fact is like, who started last? Whether it was a double push or accident in the first lap or whatever, and you got sent to the back, or you just started 24th. Who's been and I was like, well, you at Sycamore is the only one that comes to mind right now.
Oh, dang.
Oh yeah,
Austin
Austin went up 11 spots at Sycamore.
Yeah.
Swerve here, tires to walls. Yes, you are. And I own it, Swerve. If you didn't get mad at it, I probably wouldn't keep doing it. But I know it ticks you off. One from 20th. Ooh, okay.
Who's that?
That Swerve said that, so I'm assuming that meant Zelsky. Yes. I will have to. I know Marshall one time went. It wasn't this year. I think he went from like 21st, 22nd to like 7th, or no, 5th or something. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. That would be a fun question.
I know we had a good run. I mean, Tommy had a good run when we were driving your brother's car. And then we ran out of battery at Angel Park, so he was like 5th.
See, that's
started
why
21st or something.
Yeah, that's why you need the Energizer batteries.
That's what you need. That's why you need a mag.
Yeah, mag. That's where it's at. Eric Wilkie. It'd be cool to see who passed the most cars in feature races this year.
That would actually be a cool stat.
At the
That's
banquet?
Oh, that'd be cool.
That would actually be a really cool prize to have. Whoever won it gets like a monetary prize.
The Gapplebee's prize.
Yeah, but then you'd have to get into like the double pushes and stuff. Like, well, that doesn't really count. It's like from your starting position or your accidents and stuff like that. That'd be cool because I know USAC has it, and it's crazy when they only start 20 cars, or if they only have 22, 23 cars, they'll start that. But they won't start anything more than 24. To see how high that number is just nuts.
Like I said, I'd give that to Zelsky.
Yeah, that sounds like a Zelsky thing, right? Coming from the back. See, and his nickname was the talentless hillbilly. But he has a madman kind of nickname. He kind of drives
Who's that?
Zalski. He kind of drives like Robert Ballou.
Yeah.
Like way over his shoulder, wide open. Kind of crazy. I like it.
Like the Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flying
He
in the
would.
air.
He would have. He would have.
He would.
The
I've seen that dude four above the cushion, and not more than two of them touching the ground at any one time.
Yeah.
Talented.
Was it on purpose or was it on accident?
No,
I don't know,
laugh
but it
after
looked
laugh.
cool.
Yeah, it was good.
It was cool. Oh yeah. You know he's. I know he's driving that the 14 AJ wing cars. That's gonna be good.
Yeah, I'd like to ask him how he liked it. I know he did it the one time at Plymouth, right?
Yeah.
At the end, yeah.
Yeah, he ran at 141 and ran pretty good.
Oh, did he run there too?
Yeah, and then they did hot lap, and I think he hot lapped fifth. He was faster than Baylock, and then they started qualifying, and then it rained out. So it's kind of like a wash. Yeah, but Plymouth. I mean, it's a way different animal. I like I said earlier, podcasts. These wings are clipped. Non-wing for life. Non-wing for life. Jimmy, i.e. Ryan the Duke Zelski.
Ryan the Duke.
Oh, the Duke.
Dude.
That's it. Oh, man, that's awesome.
That's a good one.
That is a great one. So I got to go back to also the last podcast because John Curcio gave me a heart attack.
Yep.
So we did the show, uploaded Spotify on Tuesday. Tuesday afternoon, he texts me, and he's like, your stat's wrong. And I'm like, no, it isn't. No, it isn't. He's like, so we had a stat of all the drivers that qualified in the top 16.
Okay.
Right? And Marshall wasn't one that made it. He missed one night. It was USAC night. So I was like, dang. But what I forgot to mention in how I did that was when there's double flights, you have to qualify in the top 8 to be in the top 16. Right? So one night he qualified 14th. So I'm like, I'm clearing it up. I'm still right, but John's also right that Marshall has not qualified outside the top 16 in his flight.
Because he wasn't there.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I try to get all my stuff as best as I can. So that when he texts me, he's like, "You're wrong." I'm like, "Oh no!" Like, crap. Now.
Well, then you could tell when you're telling the truth or when it's a lie.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Perfect segue.
Perfect segue.
All right, guys. It is game time. Hour 16. Nice. Boom. We're playing a hidden lie, which is basically like 2 truths and a lie, 3 truths and a lie. So I still don't know how I want to play this. If I want you two to go off on it against each other, or you two team up against Facebook. So Facebook. Let's see here. Yeah, we can do Facebook.
Yeah, we do. We'll go against Facebook.
Yeah.
There we go.
Alrighty. So I just put my pen over here. Don't.
You know, I have mine. You two against Facebook.
Nice. Yes.
Okay.
Rod Colburn, the first guest to find out what game we're playing, and he came up with some questions too. So this is gonna be great. All right. So, there we go. I was like, how do? You better not be cheating. No. I gotta remember. You guys can see
my side is not that good.
Your periph.
My periph. It's not that good.
Awesome. All right, guys. So this is how we are going to be playing Hidden Lie. We have 6 questions here. We're going to let our guest. We'll let Rod pick the numbers, but you guys are going to be teaming
That's
up.
fine.
Okay. So Rod is going to be picking question 1 through 6. I'll ask him the question and then give him 3 correct answers and 1 false answer, and he's got to tell me which is the false answer.
Just so you know, he did preface by telling me this week, he's like, these are going to be hard, so I'm going to put you 2 together. Okay. That's the first thing he said to me. He's like, it's probably going to take both of you to figure it out.
Yeah. And then Facebook, then we'll go to you, and then I will ask you guys, and then we'll just kind of do majority, what you guys think it is, and we'll go with that. Awesome. All right, Rod, 1 through 6.
So number 1 for the Harley Davidson Museum.
Number 1 for the Harley Davidson Museum.
Still never been. I gotta get out there. There's 2 museums out there I gotta go see.
Yes.
The Harley Davidson and the Royal Enfield.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I've been to both.
So since we're living in Facebook future, Facebook,
future.
which question would you like me to ask you? 2 through 6. So get ready with that. So question 1 here for in studio team. Which of these drivers has not won an A main at 141? Ryan Zelski, Rusty Egan, Alan Hafford, Tim Cox.
Now the night that Tim moved Nathan out of the way, it was a nudge. It was just a right. It was just a right on his left rear, and he went up the track 2 feet and he passed it.
Just a love tap.
Yeah. Because Tim Cox has never boogered anyone out of the way.
No, he nudged him.
He's a gentleman.
He nudged him. It was a gentlemanly nudge. I don't think Tim won there.
Okay. I mean, your guess is gonna be better than mine. I was gonna guess.
I think he was second that night. Tim Cox.
Tim Cox
Yeah.
is correct.
There we go.
Yes.
That would have been better because I was like maybe Hafford, but
Yeah.
I remember. I remember Al went in there.
there we go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Rusty Egan won it in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Alan Hafford in the spring race
Yep.
of 2022.
22.
And Ryan Zelski in the fall race of 2022.
22.
I didn't
Yeah.
question Zelski.
Yes.
That's good though because that would have been hard.
See,
'cause I would have thought
It was
Tim
close.
Cox-
I couldn't remember because
Tim Cox.
I couldn't remember if he won that one or not. But that'd be in the 0 car one.
Facebook. Would you like me to ask you what question?
See, even Jimmy.
Yeah.
Jimmy gassed Hafford like I would have.
Yeah. Facebook 2 through 6. Which one would you like me to ask you? Yeah. So your unfamiliarity with tracks probably helped you
Yeah.
because 141 is a lockdown track and
Yeah.
Ryan Zelski is not a lockdown kind of driver.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to maybe trick someone with that one by putting him in there. But yeah. All right, we're getting 3. Awesome. All right, Facebook. Stupid update. Facebook. Which of these drivers has not won an A main race at Wilmot for the support race of the World of Outlaws?
Wow, that was very wordy.
Yeah.
That was a mouthful.
Which of these drivers has not won an A main at Wilmot for the support race of the World of Outlaws? Because that's probably the crown jewel of the Wisconsin wingless. The Grogan's pretty big too. So in
Yeah,
fairness,
there's a lot of
those
money.
are like your 3 big ones, right? All right. So your drivers: Jimmy Sibia, Doug Shank, Jake Kuba, Todd Lear.
Every time I hear Cuba, I want to go Cuba.
Oh, they're very nice people
Oh,
from
that's
Minnesota. They're great. They got the accent and everything.
Oh, great.
Yep.
So while we're waiting for that,
Yeah, real quickly. Which of these drivers has not won an A main at Wilmot for the support race for the World of Outlaws? Jimmy Sibia, Doug Shank, Jake Kuba, Todd Lear. So yeah, if you guys were to guess,
if we were to guess,
you guys were to guess, yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. So we got one again. Ooh.
oh,
We got
Oh. We're getting 50-50 stuff now. I give it one more minute. Or not one more minute, a couple more seconds. That's a minute's long.
so we were joking earlier about the Wisconsin accent, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've got family up north in near Anago, so pretty close to the border. And as you get closer to the border, the deeper the Wisconsin accent gets, right?
yeah.
But then I've got family, and you get the Canadian accent that kind of mingles with the Wisconsin accent.
Sure.
And it is the funkiest thing because I don't, it would be like my great uncle or something. He's got it where it's like a really deep Wisconsin accent mixed with this Canadian accent, and you get a lot of oops, and it's like really, it's just really weird. It's a very unique sound, but that kind of made me think of it earlier when you brought the accents up.
So this is gonna suck because majority rules,
I was gonna say, you gotta go with majority, right?
and it is wrong. But there was a correct answer.
One person.
Maddie, you have it. Lear's the correct answer. Shank is the wrong answer.
I know Shank won because I was third that night. So
Yep.
Nathan was second.
Yep.
Yeah.
Doug Shank won in 2017.
Which Nathan? The shirtless wonder?
Yeah.
That shirtless.
That
Nate.
shirtless
Yep.
wonder?
Yep. Doug Shank won in 2017. Jay Kuba won in 2018. And Jimmy Sivia won it in 2021.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm feeling good now. We're ahead.
Rolling,
Yeah.
We're ahead.
2, 4, 5, 6.
bro.
We did one, so let's go for 2.
2. Okay.
Little Scotty Neitzel.
Yeah. Or
R&H.
or Tommy Colburn.
Oh, that's right. He did it only 1 year.
Nathan Crane, but the big kablooey.
That's right. Kaboom.
In 2022, the championship was a tie. There have also been really close championship deciders. What was not the points gap between first and second in points? 27, 10, 192, 3.
Wait. For what year?
Any year. It just tied in 2022.
Okay.
So
Give
just
me the
think-
numbers again.
Oh, you're saying there was a tie. What was the amount?
No.
No.
Okay,
It wasn't
yeah.
between first and second. I think he's talking about Chris and Jimmy.
Chris and Jimmy.
Yeah. I just can't remember what points it was. Say the points again.
Yeah, 27, 10, 192, 3, which is not the gap between,
Oh, which is not.
which is not a correct. These are all, there's 3 that are correct point gaps between first and second, but 1 is wrong.
Say it one more time.
27, 10, 3, 192.
192 is not. So we got to pick the one that is.
Is not.
We're
It's
waiting
192.
out.
192 is not the gap.
It is not the gap. Oh, you guys are wrong.
I know, because
Is it
I
wrong?
was gonna say I feel like he was trying to fool us with that one.
Yeah,
Was it 27?
it was 27.
Oh,
That wasn't it.
So
I don't understand the question.
Yeah, so sorry.
The gap was 27.
That was incorrect.
That was the one that was
So,
incorrect.
the gap in 2021
Oh,
was.
I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
He was doing
I
the
meant the 1
different-
year.
Yeah, I said that
okay.
did get a little confusing.
Yeah.
I still
Yeah.
think that should count because I guessed it.
Yeah.
Half a point.
Yeah.
No,
Half a point.
no, that's not fair. 1/3.
Yeah,
1/3.
1/3.
1/3.
0.3. Yes.
0.3.
Yeah. No. It was. A
I get it now.
Yeah.
I get it now.
Yeah. I just had to throw one large number
I
out
knew
there.
that the
just-
192, like, I knew he was trying to trick us with that.
That was. I think that was between. I think that's the year Chris Dodd won. I think he had it sewn up long before that. So, or no, wait, was it this year? No, it wasn't. It was 100 points this year. Awesome. Facebook, 456.
That was a hard one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's not the one. There's one I really hope you guys get.
I got a feeling he's gonna rig it, no matter what number I
Right.
say.
They're all wrong.
They were all.
You
no,
sure picked a great game for a lot of, like, naked air time.
I know. Dead air.
Waiting for
Dead
that.
air. Dead air. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, we're going with 6.
Family
We're going with
finish.
6. We're going with 6. All right. This is going to be in more Rod's wheelhouse, so maybe he might know this one. But Facebook. Which MSA driver has not won an A main in 2023? Alex Pekorski, Brandon Berth, Kevin Karnitz, or Logan Julian?
You know, I've had to, like, change these, the 3 truths, 1 lie thing. I've had to change them, like, so many times because I was going to write something and then you brought up how I'm in the corporate world, so I had to change something now. And what else? I had to change this 3 different things. So, like, it was like, oh man, that's too soon because now that we've already talked about that subject, people know that this thing about me.
Awesome. I'm glad Facebook listened really well because usually I repeat. So I was like, I hope they got it. I hope they understand the question. Yeah, so which MSA driver has not won a A main in 2023? And yeah, we have a sweep on Facebook.
Yeah.
Logan Julian,
Yep.
the rookie of the year. I thought I was going to trick people with that.
He's good too.
He's
Yeah.
trying to be tricky.
That kid's
Yeah.
good.
That's why I said
be
like
sneaky.
this one was one that I was like really trying to trick. So I'm really glad.
Because Bertha was his first ever.
Awesome. Yeah. So Alec Bogorski's got 1. Berth has 2, and
2 now, yeah.
and Carnens has 1. It was really hard because
I mean, Berth only. I mean, the other 2 guys had won before.
Yeah.
But Berth won. His first one was this year, and then the second one was.
Boom. The first one's always the hardest, right? Yeah, it was kind of hard because Schultz and who's the other guy? Brandon
McMullen.
Won between just those 2 guys. They won
Ben?
like 17
Yeah.
features or whatever. So yeah, awesome. That was the easiest question so far, Eric Wilkie. Awesome. I'm glad. All right, 4 or 5.
4.
Thank you. This is the one you'll understand because you thought one of them was wordy.
Oh boy, this
Oh,
is.
This
gosh.
is
I'm just gonna shut up.
yeah.
I'll see if I can't compress the question and make it easier to understand.
Okay.
Translate.
Translate. Which of these fun facts has never happened?
Oh, that should okay.
Only 2 rookies in the Wisconsin Wingless Sprint Series won a feature in their rookie year.
I think that's happened.
The most cars to start and Wisconsin Wingless Sprint Series B main was 26 cars. Only 2 drivers won Rookie of the Year, followed by winning a championship
That's
next
true.
year.
That's true.
A Ryan has won at Angel Park a lot. Wilkie's win broke a run of Ryan's winning streak that started in September of 2021.
I think that's true too, because those 2 guys won a
It's
lot.
number 2.
The most
Repeat
cars-
number 1.
Only 2 rookies in the Wisconsin Wingless has won a feature in their rookie year.
That's true, I think.
2, the most cars to start in a Wisconsin Wingless B main was 26 cars.
So that's the only one I know. I know that there has been a night or 2 that has been a
Yeah,
huge
because
showing.
possible was 27 one night, so 26 will buy. Someone fell out. All right,
That's
give
hard.
it. Go for it. I
Oh,
think they're all.
gosh. Well, I know. So okay, so 1 is repeat 1 again.
Only 2 rookies in the Wisconsin Wingless Sprint Series won a feature in their rookie year.
In their rookie year.
I think that's false.
And then what was number 3?
Number 3, only 2 rookie drivers won Rookie of the Year, followed by winning the championship the next year.
I think that's false because I think Zilski won one at the end of his rookie year at Beaver Dam. I know that Clayton won, right? I know that Wilkie won. So I think that's false. I think number 1 is wrong.
Well, that was
I think
number
it's false.
3. That was number 3.
Oh, is that
1
number
and
3?
3 are almost the same. Like, so what's the difference between 1 and 3?
Feature win,
Feature win. So
Rookie of the Year, followed by a championship the next year.
Okay.
so that's number 3.
Okay, yeah. No, I think it's the first one. I think there's more than 2.
There's more than 2.
More than. Would that be false?
That have
then?
won a feature on their rookie
In their rookie year.
right? That was the number 1.
And I assume you're not including the first year. And because
Yeah, not 2015.
because actually I think did you win when you were rookie year?
Because that's how I
Okay,
know
it's
that-
more. It's way more than 2 then. So
Really, I'm gonna have to fact check this.
well, because I think
Yeah.
Ryan, you won the last race of your rookie year, right?
Yeah, that is gonna depend on everything. Because again, tricky.
Well, because then you have Wilkie won.
So true. So all right. Yep. So the most. So the one that I thought was going to trick you is the most cars that started Wisconsin B main was 26.
Well, see, but I remember there was
Is
a
that
time where
false?
there was like what 40 something plus cars.
But they ran 2 Bs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
But the first,
I think the most
but-
is
but
20.
the first. So the first year that they actually had so many cars, they started a B main and there were 26.
26.
And then they're like, wait, next week we need
Yeah.
to split them.
It was bigger than a feature, yeah.
Yeah. So that one is
Yep.
true.
yeah,
That's
I
true.
figured that one was true.
Yeah, I think 1.
Yep. Only 2 drivers won Rookie of the Year, followed by winning the championship the next year. Clayton Rossman, Ryan Marshall.
Marshall, yeah.
Ryan has won a feature, or Ryan Zelski, or sorry, Wilkie's win broke a run
That I
of
know is true,
Ryan's.
yeah.
Yes. Wilkie, you are wrong. Marshall got Davey Ray on a late caution.
Yeah,
Or right before the late caution.
Yeah, I remember cheering that one. Yes.
Yep. That was crazy. I look
Loudly.
back. Yeah, I look back and I was just like, when was the last time Orion hasn't won? And it was September
It was a while,
2021. Was the last
Because I remember that
They
from
own
the
that
previous show we
place.
talked
Yep.
about that.
So you're correct. Only 2 rookies in the Wisconsin wingless one features. That would be Clayton, myself,
Yep.
Zelsky.
Okay, see, that was the only one I was like, well, I know that it was at least 2 because I remember you were 1.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
so I'm
See, I
glad
tried to trick you guys again.
it was hard because it was like 1 and 3 were kind of similar. So I was like,
Mhm.
oh, could it have been 1 was?
Okay.
So that means number what?
5
for Facebook.
5 for Facebook. One of these drivers did not win a Bill Grogan. Chris Dodd, Jimmy Sivia, Nathan Crane, Derek Crane. One of these drivers did not win a Bill Grogan. Chris Dodd, Jimmy Sivia, Nathan Crane, Derek Crane.
Well, because I mean,
Well, hang on. Don't get too far ahead yet. Let's just
that's
say.
why I'm not saying it out loud. I mean, I'm like,
Oh, man. All right, Facebook. One of these drivers did not win a Bill Grogan. It always worries me, too, like, because I know we're a little ahead of them.
Mhm.
That are they looking up, or is that just the normal delay?
right.
Oh, yeah, and Ryan Zelsky here. I would have won it, but I took myself out at the start at Angel Park. I mean, let's just say don't get in a Ryan's way at Angel Park, because they call the mail there. All right, Facebook. One of these drivers did not win a Bill Grogan. Chris Dodd, Jimmy Sivia, Nathan Crane, Derek Crane. This is the last question. This has been a fun show so far. Ouch.
Ooh.
Why'd you tag me in it? I'm right here. Alright, so Jimmy IE says Derek Crane. Maddie says Nathan, question mark. And now Wilkie and Zelsky are talking about the last one at Angel Park.
Right now we're split between the DC Bros.
Well, it's
Or the
Ukraine.
C Bros.
Sorry, DC. Ouch. Why? Well, it's not really in camera, too, so I can't be all that mad about it.
Yeah.
Well, no, because it's on the wall right there, too. Oh, wow. Okay. Myself.
Wow,
Joe.
y'all,
Okay.
Facebook loses.
Loses. Wow. All right. Nathan.
It was Nathan. He won the week after.
Yeah.
Before.
Week before. Right before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because then he had a good car that night and he spun it all by himself. Yeah.
Yep.
And not to
I
run
see
into
the
the
sign
50 car.
every week. I'm like, I know it wasn't Derek. I literally face the sign. It sits right here every week.
Yeah, so...
I have mine, but they're not multiple choice. And the first. I'll
Oh,
just-
real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
In studio 2, Facebook 1. So Brian,
We beat the internet.
Beat the
Brandon,
internet.
and Rod are winners.
Where's your bear horn at?
Where's my bear horn hat?
Where's your bear horn
Right
at?
next to my bear spray. Yeah, so right outside of the camera, like you don't see it, but like the Bill Grogan trophy's there, and then actually above Rod's head and a little bit behind that foam piece right there is actually the photo of Victory Lane from the Bill
In my
Grogan.
trunk, you'll find many pelts. Under the smallest pelt, you'll find a box. In the box will be a bear horn.
Okay, awesome. So Rod has come up with some too. So
All
now
right.
me and Brandon versus
Well-
Facebook.
1 through 4. You guys pick first.
So 4? Alright.
And no multiple choice. You just gotta nail this.
Oh, I gotta nail it?
So you got 4. You said. You picked number 4.
4.
Okay. All right. Who was the first Wisconsin wingless driver to race in Indiana with the 410s and make the A main?
Rod Colburn. Kokomo.
Kokomo, Rod Colburn. And a little side. This is my only claim to fame. That's it.
Do I get an extra point? Do we get an extra point because I named the track? I remember that too. I was just like, he made the feature. Oh my goodness. And then he comes back and he's like, we don't drive sprint cars. They drive sprint
They
cars.
drive sprint cars. Whatever we drive is not a sprint car. All right, so Facebook 1 through 3.
This is Rod's questions, and it's going to be true, false for all of them.
No,
Or no.
you can fill in a name.
Oh, fill in a name. So it's fill in a name
A name or a place.
or a place. 1 through 3. 1 through 3.
1 through 3.
This is fun. Man, whoever our next guest is better be coming with some games too.
Apparently.
I
mean,
raised
I've brought
the
a
bar.
game
Huh?
before. and
Yeah,
then-
yeah. You.
Did they give us
Bring
one?
it.
Some
Then you
one,
play it.
Maddie.
Maddie says 3.
Okay, a 3.
3.
Okay. Let's see.
And
In
then-
what state was the first IRA half-mile race? In what state? And if you're good at it, you can tell me the track.
So Joseph says 2. So we'll
We'll
pick,
do 2.
We'll
Yeah,
do
we'll do
1,
one.
and then
Then
that
we'll
way.
do
Yeah,
2.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So say that again.
In what state was the first IRA half-mile race? The track was a half-mile long. What
Okay.
state?
What state? And this is
IRA sanctioned.
19 from the 1960s
1981.
to present day or whatever.
To present day,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
What state?
Oh yeah,
Facebook?
state. I was focusing on the track. Yeah, I was about to say.
You
yeah.
probably won't get the track, so I'll give you the state.
Oh, state. Indy. Let's see.
See?
Yeah, we got
Joseph said
Wisconsin,
Illinois.
Jackson.
Freeport, I'm guessing is what he meant to type.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Joseph.
Illinois, Freeport.
Indy,
Illinois.
Wisconsin.
Freeport, otherwise Iowa.
So is that the answer is Illinois?
It seems to be that
Yeah,
Illinois
yeah, we'll go
is
Illinois.
the popular.
The answer is Freeport, Illinois.
Wow.
Oh!
Nice.
Good job, Joseph and Eric.
Nice.
Wow. Okay, we're tied. Okay.
Okay, so you guys have one.
So we're
Yeah,
doing
we'll
number
do
one.
Yours is going to be pretty easy. Who is the only 4-time winner of All-Star Feature?
Oh,
Bill Baloch.
Bill Baloch.
Yeah. All right.
The only
I'm lying,
yeah,
but-
the only other one that I could maybe think of was maybe Thiel, because Thiel's pretty
All right.
good.
They're next. Are you guys ready?
Yep. So
Okay.
Facebook, this is you.
What IRA driver won the first All-Star Feature? What IRA driver won the first All-Star Feature? The first one to win one.
First driver to win an All-Star feature.
Yeah,
Okay.
first IRA regular driver to win an All-Star Feature.
I mean, I don't want to give it away because I really want to beat Facebook.
Write it down. Write it down.
Yeah.
Write down your answer.
He does the same.
No.
No? Wow. Well, this is going to be.
Facebook, anybody?
Nobody?
Nobody would make a guess who won the first IRA.
Oh,
Joseph said Daryl Dodd.
Daryl Dodd.
That's a good guess.
Ooh. Dave Mullis. Dave Mullis.
2 votes for Dave.
It's for the
They're
the short.
Googling it,
Yeah.
right?
No, that's for the short.
I'll do you a
Yeah.
favor. I'll even tell you the track. It was at Butler Battlegrounds in Michigan.
Ooh.
That sounds like a track. The battlegrounds.
And it's a really cool
I know,
track.
right?
You go down, like the stands are up above, and the track is down below in this bowl. You go up over the edge. Woo!
Oh, yeah.
Anybody else? All right.
Yeah. What is it?
Dick Colburn,
Oh!
1986.
Wow.
In fact, here's another fun fact to that. I'm pretty sure this is right, but Alan Haffer's dad was turning wrenches on that car,
Wow.
driving for a guy named Corky.
Oh, we got
Does that
a
mean
late
we
one. Frank
beat
Filsco.
Facebook?
Yeah.
Filsco.
So we beat Facebook 2
I don't know if
times
any of those
tonight?
guys.
You
won.
beat-
The first one was Dick.
I'm winning.
Yeah.
For
Awesome.
once. I always lose.
Alrighty. And then, spur of the moment, Brandon didn't want to be.
He didn't want to be
Didn't want to be
left
left
out.
out.
Yeah,
so we're going to learn some stuff about bestest bench tonight.
Okay.
So,
we'll just go back and forth.
yeah, I'll let
this
you
way.
guys
Okay.
kind of, and
Okay.
Facebook
Yeah.
can feel free to
Yes.
guess too.
Yes.
Jump in.
Because I figured this would be kind of interesting because a lot of you might not know a lot of stuff about me.
Especially when you're
But
not
this
here
will
for
also
2
be
weeks.
a test to see what Derek knows about me.
Could I still call you bestest man?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's what's on the line.
So
Oh.
I did it like the OG, 2 truths and a lie, but
Okay.
3 truths and a lie. So I've got 3 statements
With-
about myself.
With 3 and a lie.
I'm sorry, 4 statements about myself. 3 of them are truths.
All right.
1 of them is a lie.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
Okay.
Number 1, I've watched The Office over 50 times through.
The full season?
The full 9 seasons.
Oh, that's true.
And then number 2, I'm really into beer and brewing my own beer.
That sounds like something.
3, I'm a fiend in the kitchen and love cooking. 4, I love cars, modifying cars. I've also refurbished 3 classic muscle cars.
What was your number 2?
Number 2, I'm really into beer and brewing my own beer.
I got this. This is easy.
It's that one.
It's F.
It's
You couldn't get the lug nuts off of your own car. You think you're going to refurbish a muscle car? No.
It's
And
beer.
4
So
is
your guess
false.
is 4, and your guess is 2.
4.
Yeah.
Okay,
4.
Facebook.
Oh.
Facebook, what do we think? I'll go through them again. Number 1, I've watched The Office over 50 times through. 2, I'm really into beer and brewing my own beer. 3, I'm a fiend in the kitchen and love cooking. 4, I love cars, modifying them, and I've refurbished 3 classic cars.
You got a 4.
So
No.
4, so people are guessing 4.
It's 2. I know it's 2.
Maddie's guessing 4.
Come
Okay.
on, Maddie. You know
I know
him
she
too.
should know me too.
Yeah.
She should know. So at least enough to guess this one. Okay. I want to get at least like 1 or 2 more people to guess.
Well, they're all 4 so
But
far.
so far we've got 2 votes for 4.
A 2.
Okay, Jimmy's guessing.
Yeah.
Jimmy's guessing 2.
Then I'm guessing 2.
You're guessing 2. So Facebook seems to be following him, except for Jimmy, who's following you.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll go through the ones that are truths and end with the lie.
Okay.
I've watched The Office over 50 times is true.
Yep.
I stopped counting at 50 times.
So it's more like 100.
It could be way more than
Yeah.
that. I'm a fiend in the kitchen and love cooking. That is also true.
Notice how you skipped number 2.
And, well, I'm leaving the 2 that have been guessed
The 2
for last.
clues.
Oh, okay.
So we've got the 2 left that have both been guessed. So it'll either be win or win. The one that's a truth. I'm really into cars and modifying them, and I've refurbished 3 classic muscle cars.
Facebook, you should know this. Have you ever seen?
Have you ever seen me drink? Well,
beer?
unless they noticed me drinking the last time that
Yeah.
we were on with Dan Wade.
Dan Wade.
Yeah, I did drink a beer that night. That's the only time I've ever drank a full beer because I
nuclear.
really do not like beer at
Yes.
all. But if I was into beer, that's why I tried to throw you, because you know how like deep I dive into stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I tried to throw like because you first were like brewing your own beer. I could see you doing that.
Mm-hmm.
That's if I was into beer, I probably would do that.
Yeah.
So yes, I am actually really big into cars.
Okay, then wait.
You just opened a whole can of worms.
Yes.
there.
You couldn't get your own lug nuts off, but you say you refurbish cars?
I got
I'm calling
all the lug
BS.
nuts off.
I'm calling BS.
So here's what happened.
You could get a lug nut. No.
Recount.
No.
Here's what
Okay,
happened.
no, you're into assembling a car. You're not into refurbishing a car. If you could not get your own lug nut off of a wheel well, you're not into refurbishing. You might be into assembling.
No, I refurbished.
No.
So you couldn't get your own lug nut off.
So what
Or
happened
you
was
couldn't get the stud off.
the cap of the lug nut
Yeah.
broke off
Got
and
it.
left the piece mushroomed in,
Got it.
and I have not had to light up a lug nut to get it off.
Again,
So
assembly.
they
not
were
refurbished.
aluminum rims, and I did not ruin them.
Facebook. Is that he's into assembling cars or refurbishing?
Is he into like what we do with sprint cars?
Yeah, that's just
Assembling
assembling.
a sprint
I've never refurbished a sprint car.
Yeah.
I have
So-
assembled some.
Yeah.
All 3 of the cars I've refurbished have literally pretty much come as like rusted frames from a field. It was a 66 Mustang, a 68 Mustang, and a 67.
And if I was your friend who got that off, I'd feel used.
What?
I feel used.
No.
You didn't even take a shot at it? You've taken something from a rusty frame and turned it into a car? What does that say?
Maddie says, but I haven't seen the cars.
No, yeah.
It's
No,
too
this-
soon. It's too soon. It's too soon.
And then
Your last one. Your last car.
68 Cuda.
Ooh.
All cool cars. Not denying that.
Jimmy, I says, I bet I could.
No, I didn't have to take any rusted bolts off or any rusted lug nuts off. But yeah, no, I've never. That was a first for me, and I just right now we're down to pretty much 2 crap cars coming from. I had a really nice car that I worked on a lot. And made it to be what I wanted it to be, and hydroplaned into an intersection, and so I didn't want to ruin one of the only 2 cars that we have to work right now. And with the baby on the way, I can't afford to spend a whole crap ton of money, so I didn't want to ruin it.
Yeah. You should have gotten Jimmy IE over here. We should have. He could have just looked at that thing with his biceps.
I mean, it's a family friend, so I mean, he didn't really.
The force.
He really. If I were to let him, he wouldn't have like charged me anything. But I like to pay people who he does it for a living, and I'm like no like he only charged me $60, so he got both of them off. And the sad part is it would have been easier, but the place that we originally took it to that broke the cap threw like another like
thing on
bolt on there and over tightened it and made it even worse.
Oh, thanks
because
for the help.
Even he couldn't get it off. That bolt that they put on, or the nut that they put on, started stripping.
They probably cut that off too.
Yeah. So it really, the weirdest part was when I was taking that lug nut off the first time. It's like the steel lost its hardness. Like, and I know what stripping a bolt feels like, right? Like I can't tell you how many times I've probably done it, but like.
Dirty man.
It like became like it was Play-Doh. Yeah. It was really weird.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, just like that. I was just like, what in the world?
Jimmy said sounds like Walmart.
Honestly, it probably was. The other part too was like the car had sat for quite a while.
Yeah.
And I don't know the last time that the tires were rotated, so they just swelled and got stuck.
Yeah, when we first met, he's like, dude, you're a race car driver. You like cars. I'm like, no, I don't.
I'm sitting here trying to have a conversation about like,
he's like
modified cars and stuff.
It's supercharged. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
Like,
when we first started the Wisconsin wingless thing, like I knew a little bit about injection from sprint cars.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about a carburetor. I couldn't do a lawnmower carburetor. All of a sudden now they're like, yeah, well, we'll change the jet. I'm like, there's a jet in this thing? That's cool.
What? No way. Yeah, no. Race car driver. Don't you like working on cars? I barely like working on sprint cars. I don't like. Yeah. Ugh. So yeah. No, the beer one kind of threw me.
That's why I put it on there.
That was good
because I know he would know. He knows I hate beer.
Yeah.
Well, no, don't hate beer. They're just picky. That's why
extremly picky.
But then I know you have Dean. So how could you distill your beer in the tub?
I have a basement toilet. We can make toilet wine.
That's disgusting. I'm never drinking anything you bring over. Awesome. All right, guys. So we're about to wrap up here. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. It's been fun. Next guest hint: super fan. Dun, 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 dun.
Ooh,
super fan.
Bill Barty.
Oh man. Yeah,
that's my guess.
It's a good guess, but it's not him.
you got to be a super fan if you wear like a checkered flag uniform.
Yeah,
that's a super fan.
Okay, Bill Barty's sidekick. Not that they know each other, but just it's like
same level of super fanness.
Yeah, just barely dressing up. Oh. They wear. I think they wear my hat, but they normally deck out in like race gear. Mm-hmm. So yeah, thank you, Joseph, for tuning in. So that's our next guest, super fan, and I'm not gonna set up the pins of like, it's not gonna be Bill Barty. One day we're gonna get the party in here one of these days, and then we'll get confused why my checker flag up there is in the chair. So Brandon, start getting us out of here. Who would you like to thank?
Shout out to my wife who has been pushing through this rough part of pregnancy like a champ. And shout out to Daybreak Church and BG's group for, the few times I got to go out this summer and just kind of accepting me into the group and really just digging deep and showing me how to do things. Thanks for you to including me in your racing lifestyle. Unapologetically, I should say.
No, you're good.
Unapologetically bringing me into this world.
Yeah. Thank you so
thanks.
much for helping me set up the mic and the cameras and all this, because I like how people come in. I'm like, okay, we gotta do sound check, and they're like, "Ooh." I'm like, no, I'm just making sure we all
And
can
they
hear.
think we're all like fancy. We're like, no, we're just making sure it works. Yeah.
Everyone can hear everybody. But yeah, no. So this was supposed to be this winter project, this whole podcast, thing. But talking to Brandon, he's like, "Oh, dude, we can do it.
Yeah.
So it's super cheap. Yeah. So
You don't have to go big right off the bat. Yeah.
No. Buy yourself an old DRC Spike, get the feeling for it, and then go out and buy the new one. Rod, who would you like to thank?
Well, of course, my wife for dealing with my addiction. There's no classes for this. It's just a lifelong deal.
I think the class is going to the race.
And then guys like Jimmy, who are on here, that helped with the car. Eli, your brother Nathan.
Yep.
Bryce, just a whole list of guys. Steve, that have helped through the years. Ryan, even back to Zach Hansen. The hardest thing to do is to go be on a pit crew and work on the car, and that is actually your dream too. You want, a lot of guys who are in the pits want to drive. They're attracted to the speed and all that, and to take a second seat takes a pretty cool person to do that.
Yeah.
And it's hard. I know it's hard to do. A lot of times it's just funding and money and that. I've tried to do help as much as I could. I had the driving school the 1 year and stuff. I would have did that again if I wouldn't have lost so much money doing it.
That was so much fun.
It was a blast. And maybe someday, but it's just want to thank those people who aren't really the driver, but they're in the pit and they're working hard. I get you have that dream too of driving someday. That's what attracts you to it, and it takes a pretty big person to kind of set your dream aside and help someone else with theirs. So pretty cool.
Yeah. Any sponsors you like to thank?
I just thank them so much all the time. You got Heiser and LD's Barbecue, and Winter Got Junk, and Next Electric, and Elko Truck Rental, and Planet Gain, and we got a bunch more. So.
Yeah.
We got a bunch on board, and I do have Iron Jock Clothing, which is a big one for us now.
Yes. They're on the midget, right?
Yeah, they're on the midget, and they do a nice job for us.
All right, we got two things real quick. Jimmy, wife's name. What is it, Rod?
It's Jen. Jen Colburn.
Jen Colburn. Rod. So 3 letters.
She's actually the one that kind of pushed me to do it. What is it? Be careful what you wish for. You just might get it.
Yeah,
that happened to my wife. And
Doesn't that always throw you for a loop when you're wanting something, but you just like, there's no way she's gonna say
I'm just like not that.
And then she's like, yeah, do it.
I'm not that kind of do something. I was coaching. Next thing you know, I'm coaching at the varsity level and doing 12 hours of film a week and coaching in JV and just. I'm not a little bit type person, so we started racing. The first year was fun, so I thought I'd just try adding another car and another car and another car. And now, this year we got some big things. I can't announce them yet, but we got some huge things coming up in 2024. And
nice.
Yeah, some surprising things. I will give one away. Going to be at the Chili Bowl this year.
You heard it here first.
Tommy's driving the Chili Bowl. I can't release the car until after November 1st, part of the deal. But let's just say it's not a little team. So
Interesting. So it's not a Badger.
it's not a Badger, and
Ooh,
and
let's go.
and he has teammates who have won USAC races and everything else. So it's a quality car.
Let's
Quality
go,
car.
Cool Cat. 2 questions real quickly.
Yeah.
Where can our listeners find you?
Oh, you can find us on Facebook and Twitter, and gosh, I wish Hannah was out here to help me. She does all that stuff for me.
So basically, all the major social media.
All the major social media platforms.
Okay.
We're going to be doing more of that. We have used things like Box 3 Media in the past. They get to a lot of people.
Yeah.
It gets a lot of people, and you'd like to be able to have that service all in house, and you wish you had that many hits and people that you hit, and that'd be great, but we don't. So take advantage of those things too.
Exactly. And are you gonna have any Chili Bowl merch?
We're gonna try to have some Chili Bowl merch.
Pre or post race?
Probably pre-race.
Yes.
We're gonna have some pre-race stuff.
Make sure you get me down on one.
So the only thing I can tell you is that we're lucky enough. Harley Davidson is on board So
Boom.
any car that I run, I get to put the one on and get paid for.
Oh.
So
Nice.
The American number one.
the American number one,
Yes.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Yes. Awesome. All right, and then Maddie here. Nope, I'm not driving. It's funny because my dad and I were like, "Sure, you're like for a hot lap or something, just try it.
Try it out?
No. So yes,
Jimmy, he did say it was Jen.
yes.
It's Jen, yeah. Her name's Jen.
Yeah, her name is Jen. He beat you before my mom beat you to what's her name?
What's her name?
Yes.
I know they got me on that too.
Yeah, that's my mom.
All it takes is the first time, and they're like, they're on it.
Even Nathan's banging when he.
I know, right?
He hasn't been here in what 6-7 episodes, and he still do it. He didn't do it
Really?
before it.
I know, right? He just messed me up on it.
Yeah. I'd like to thank Kroger Delivery, Next Gen Pumps, The Fat Fro Zone, Rouge Helmets, Bay Nelson Inc., RevTech Manufacturing, Open Fender, Apt Electronics, Ashley Bree Photography. I did it again. Oh no!
You forgot to announce.
Because
Yes, you did.
yes, I did. Hidden Lies presented by Ashley Bree Photography.
Now he's gonna have to go back and cut that and put it back in. For
No,
his Spotify.
no, I'm just gonna.
Not gonna do it again.
No.
You did it so well last week. I haven't got a good laugh out of it.
I know.
He
Maybe.
goes, hey, go check out Spotify in like 1 hour and 20 minutes
Yeah.
and tell me what you think. And he like cut something out and put it back in and put all these little sound bites. And I was like, I was laughing, so you did a good job. It was funny.
Maybe if I'm feeling cute. Where was I? Yeah, well, you know what threw me off is because we had one large topic, and usually when we have 4 little topics, I break it up and present it by, and I even wrote.
Experimenting with new formats.
Yeah. Ashley Bree Photography, Pit Road Apparel, Jack's Helmet Design, Carbon Digital LLC, Forever Guard, Daybreak Church, Woot Woot. A special thanks to my beautiful wife, Ashley, mom and dad, Mark and Gail, Al and BG for allowing me to drive the 14 AJ Fat Fro car, Dave Schützen, Maddie Schützen, Jimmy IE. He's all over the place. That guy. I guess that's why they call him Turbo. Brandon, Bestest Mensch, Zen, Jack, Jessica, Big Wim fan, Kyle, Nathan, and my youngest brother Caleb.
It's going to be our flavor text of the night.
It's actually going to be a question to Caleb.
Question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Caleb, how many times have you watched The Office all the way through?
Yeah, he's got to text me that too.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Rod, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me, guys. It's a blast.
And hopefully you guys have learned some stuff. If you have any other questions about sponsorship stuff, marketing, partners, all that stuff, just let me know. And I just saw Jimmy and it said Nate on there, and I was just like, oh, I forgot to mention all this stuff about his race.
So one of my things that was going to be on my list was that I had a business major. This is why it was kind of cool that we were talking about it. But I was like, well, now, because he brought up that I'm in the corporate world and stuff, and I was like, well, now I can't say that. Because people are like, oh, well. But it was cool, because now we talked about something that I can connect on, because I've done kind of a bunch of the random stuff of business.
Yes, man, I am forgetting, guys, so I'm really sorry. Real quickly, Nathan's karting event has been moved to the 18th. So because of the MSA banquet or something, there's some guys something like that. So it's $93.45 to get in. That's tax included, because that's Nathan. Has everything ready for you. He just asked to arrive by 5:30. A little earlier wouldn't hurt. To sign waivers and all that. Driver's meeting is going to be at 5:45 on November 18th. First session for practice, they're shooting for 6 p.m. You'll have 2 qualifiers to get your best clean lap that will put you into an A, B, C, D, E, etc. mains based on your lap times. And the 4th race is going to be the features. And they got and then you're going to get a bump up too. So if you are in the C main and you win, you get bumped up to the B main. You win the B main, you get bumped up to the A. For all of the mains. He's going to be introducing the Macho Man, Macho Woman bonus.
The Randy Savage bonus?
$500 bonus.
That's pretty savage.
Yeah. Depending on how many participants we will determine.
It's enough to get me to the boiling point.
Yes. But it's basically the alphabet soup. So
Alphabet soup.
yeah, fastest qualifier if you choose to lose your spot and go to the back of the lowest main, and then you just work your way up. I think he said if you get to just the A main, you get half of it. If you win the A main, you get 500. Yeah, so it's crazy.
Serious dough.
Oh yeah.
I see Chuck taking that.
Oh, I'm taking it too. You better just qualify me.
Chuck's a roller; he'll do it.
Oh yeah, because like you're racing, you paid money. Like the best part about that, you're gonna get like 7 more races if you can make them all. Right. So yeah, the payout of the night, the A main's $100 for first place, second place is $80, third place is $60, fourth place is $40, fifth place is $20. Powder puffs, women only, $50 for first, $40 for second, $30 for third, $20 for fourth, $10 for fifth. Macho Man, Macho Woman, $10 up to $500. Fastest qualifier gets $50. Hard Charger, most advanced positions overall throughout the night is $40. Tough Luck Award $30. Every main winner that advances, not including the A main, gets $10. So awesome, yeah. So $93.45 with tax, but you have a lot of opportunities to make some money back. Yeah, so awesome.
Well, fun fact.
Yeah.
On the Randy Savage, if y'all didn't know, he made a rap album. I'm dead serious. Check it out on Spotify.
Boom. After, of course, you listen to the Bench Racing podcast.
After
Awesome.
you're done listening to our podcast.
Yes.
Yep.
This is going to be the Midwest goodbye if I don't end this.
I know, right?
So, awesome, guys. Thank you so
Tell
much.
your parents I say hello.
Yeah, tell your folks I said hi. Hi, Tyrod. Good job. And peace out, Girl Scout.